And greetings to all. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media Platform. It is good to be here with you at 3:55 p.m. here in the United States, and that is 4:55 p.m. in the Caribbean. Greetings to those of you who are just on your way home. You're on the bus. Tune in to Caribbean American News. We greet you. Those of you on the Denver bus stop, you're waiting for your transportation. Greetings to you. Those of you from Grosley, you're catching your bus home from work. Those of you who are heading to Soufrière, Swazill, Ancillary, Micoud, wherever you're traveling to, my friends, greetings to you. Let your driver know that he needs to put on Caribbean American News Media Platform. All right, so greetings, my friends. Greetings. A beautiful day to all those of you who are logged in, those of you who are listening to Caribbean American News Media. I'm here today just for to spend some time with you on the platform, and I am hoping to to spend some time with you on this Thursday. It's not a regular schedule, but I thought that I would be here to have a discussion with you, the citizens of St. Lucia. This is an official platform for information and updates and my personal opinion on matters that affect you, the citizens of the country. And I would encourage you to share the live, like, share. Those of you who are over on YouTube, greetings to you, Clive, and all the others. Greetings. Hi, Sabina and Meander Vidal Jr. How are you doing, Doris? Mathrain and Charlemagne. Greetings to all those who are coming in at this time of our broadcast. This is not our regular schedule, but I thought that I would pop in. There's so much happening that I am concerned about. I was sitting there just going through the days happening, and I got to speak. I got to come out and I got to speak to you, the citizens, and I'm hoping that you can share the live as much as you can as we engage you. And for those, as I said, for those of you who are on your way home, you're driving home, it is good to keep your company as you get home. I am sure that your phone is well charged. Some of you have backup charge, all right? Folks, we are living in some very serious times. St. Lucians, you are experiencing some very strange events in your politics, and I am here to do a number of things. And on this platform, Caribbean American News, we will be doing our first endorsement. We're going to endorse our first politician for this year. We are going to put out a full endorsement of one individual, and that we will do sometime next week. But stay tuned to this broadcast. As you know, we are a PAC supporting the United Workers' Party, and we are not managed or controlled by the party, and so we have enough flexibility as a platform to do that, but in accordance with many of the positions of the United Workers' Party. And this organization, Caribbean American News, we have great regards for our leadership of the United Workers' Party. And we endorse all the leadership at this time, executives and leaders in the different groups. We do give full endorsement officially on this platform. But however, we will be giving our first endorsement for this year, 2024. Something that I prayerfully considered, something that I thought about carefully. And with all that is happening in the country, I was able to come to that conclusion today that I need to make this early endorsement with one individual from the United Workers' Party. All right? But let's get to work, folks. Now, we have a problem in the nation. We have a problem of propaganda and a problem with lies and deception from our politicians. And I think I'm the right person to speak on it. Of course, it is something that we got to discourage in the nation. We got to hold our politicians accountable, responsible. The buck stops with them. We hire them not to tell us that they don't know or they can't. We hire them to protect the citizens of the country and to inform the citizens of the country on developments, on matters that are pertinent to them. That's the taxpayers, citizens of the country. Whether they are in the country or they are not in the country, then our politicians have a great responsibility to communicate the truth with them. Now, I said on this program concerning the tax proposal, the draft proposal that came out from the government of St. Lucia. And notice I said it came out from the government of St. Lucia. It did not come out of the private sector. It did not come out from your home. It came from the government of St. Lucia. Yes, there are processes and there are rules, there are guidelines, there are just procedures, order, protocols in government. A major discussion like taxes And I was just thinking loudly. I'm just thinking loudly. Permit me to have a rant. Our Prime Minister, when pushed by the press, says to us, the citizens of the country, that he do not know anything about new legislation when it comes to taxes. He don't know about it. He have never seen it. None of his ministers have seen it. But in the Ministry of Finance, a document is circulated not to the citizens, but is circulated to a fraternity, businessmen and tax lawyers. Being circulated in the country to different sectors, and I'm sure some businessman or lawyer would have called the Prime Minister and said, Mr. Prime Minister, what is this? I am sure, I'm almost sure that would have happened. Not only that, the Prime Minister says that he don't know. He never saw it. His ministers have never seen it. He is the Minister of Finance. I repeat, the Prime Minister is the Minister of Finance. But yet, the Minister of Finance have no idea of a financial bill, basically, that is going around, circulating in the country. And so it circulates in the country. The government pretends like they don't know. And while they're pretending that they don't know, they are plotting, they're planning how they're going to deal with the backlash. So the Minister of Finance, says he do not know, he's not aware of anything that is out there. And then he says it's the Prime Minister, it's the former Prime Minister. So my question would be, what did the former Prime Minister, what did he do? If you have no idea of any bill out there, or proposed bill, what are you talking about then? And then you said to the St. Lucian people, well, it's brilliant, it's good. What's in the proposal is good, in the instructions is good. And so we will separate the instructions from the proposed legislation from the Inland Revenue Department. And my question would be to the Prime Minister, who is responsible for the agencies of government? Is it the Governor General? Is it the opposition leader? Is it the Prime Minister? And if the answer is that it is indeed the Prime Minister, who is the Minister of Finance, who should know, and seems ever so often to sit to St. Lucians that I don't know, I have no idea, I have never seen it, and went on to put out a document giving St. Lucians the idea that the former government opened some secret account in Panama. And then when pressed, he says that I just put it out there for speculation. Enough is enough. What else have been put out there for speculation? And that's the question that as a citizen, as an advocate, on the United Workers' Party side, I am asking you, what else is out there for speculation? And you try that stunt with the proposed tax document. You try to cover it and leave it in the air for speculation. That's mischievous. That's unbecoming. That's not necessary. At this juncture, no political discussion, while St. Lucians are suffering, while there's uncertainty in many homes, then you come out and you say to us that you have no idea, and almost attempted to make a young reporter, a young woman, look like a fool. She was not. She was much confused like anybody else. She was confused as anyone else who would have been confused. But last night, St. Lucians got a better understanding from the chartered accountant on Timothy's show of what really was going on, what is really the deal. Last night, St. Lucians, if you did not pay attention, if you last night were viewing Timothy's show and you were busy distracting yourself by trying to prove why you should not trust the brother. And that's why I say to you folks, this is no time for all this emotional bitterness and hate and don't like. This is time for you St. Lucians to understand how your government works, to understand the issues in the country, especially those of us who are not in the country. We need to take time to understand what is really happening in St. Lucia, because it is only those who feels it, knows it, you see. So instead of hating and dealing with characters, blah, 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 it is time to get back to the issues, to look at the issues and look deep at the issues and look at the individuals of consequence in the country. A little more. So last night, I wanted the truth, and that's the truth. I wanted the facts about this tax business. I wanted to know what was really happening. And that's why I reached out to the opposition leader and other UWP individuals so that I can get the information. We can educate the citizens of the country. So in other words, we are not allowing any propaganda to take root in the minds of any St. Lucians. Not anymore. It's not going to happen in this season. As soon as the propaganda comes out, we will deal with it head on. And where we see lies and distraction, we will call it out. And that's our responsibility. So, like I always say to you, noise is noise. That's all it is, noise. You're not going to benefit from noise. The only thing noise does for you is give you a headache and get you tired. So we are sticking to our agenda as Caribbean American News. No distractions. We are looking at individuals of consequence And that is the government ministers that were elected to serve us. Everybody else around us was not elected to do anything for us. All those with their opinions and their ideas and their nastiness has nothing to do with us. And nothing to do with the issues. So, I go back to my discussions. So I listened to the gentleman last night on Timothy's show. I listened to it twice, replayed it over and over again after church last night. This guy exposed the Prime Minister of St. Lucia to have been misleading the citizens of the country. A bill comes through his ministry, bypass him, and he knows nothing about it. And I'm sorry for the Prime Minister, because these fellas have distracted themselves with Mr. Chastney to the point where they could not even function in the business of the people. They were busy trying to show the people of St. Lucia that Mr. Chastney is not one of us and he's not good. Forgetting the hundreds of issues, of urgent issues in the country. I believe when you are in a government in waiting, you start putting a list together of urgent items that requires urgent attention. So you would go into your government with a list of urgent matters so that you can get on it right away. But what these guys did is that they went into governance in campaign mode. So while there were major issues that needed to be dealt with manly, they slept on them, and they were busy saying to other St. Lucians, you lose, we win. To the point that the Prime Minister missed the tax bill in his own ministry. And he dealt with the accusations in the police force the very same way. Nothing was sent to me, I don't know. And up to now, with the Panama thing, no one of them have come out. They print t-shirts with the Panama deal. But no one of them have come out to say to us, we are sorry, we did not read the documents properly. Or we read only the first and the last page of the document. And not one of these guys have apologized for misleading the citizens of St. Lucia on the Dyer Mall, on the Millennium Highway, on the hospital, on the Grosley Road. Huh? Caribbean American News Media, calling you on the air.
Pastor Garfield, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, my brother. And it was not my intention to come on now, but the issues are many.
That's all right. The issues, I know, man. I know.
Go ahead. What's on your mind? What's on your mind? Let's talk.
Let me tell you, I'm listening to you. Oh, there's an echo that come in there again. Huh?
Yeah, I'll take care of it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's I listening to you mentioning that these guys probably didn't read the whole bill and all of that. Garfield, there is something that you need to know. These guys are doing that on purpose. Mm-hmm. We have a thing in St. Lucia where no news is good news. Mm. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, the Labour Party themselves, they have basically they have people that are well educated, and they have make sure that they use them as the foot soldiers to keep passing on the ideology.
Mm.
Now, most of these people that I am referring to that are well educated, well, guess where they work? They work in most of those government institutions. So you see where the problem is already lying.
Yeah.
When you have people that are educated, that's supposed to know better, that probably went to school on scholarship, on taxpayers' dollars or grants, whatever, name it, and they're supposed to come back to contribute to the country that gave them that life that they have today. You know what they will do for a few dollars? They would rather jeopardize the whole country for their own gain, not realizing doing that they're bringing themselves down together with the country. You see, I'm not just saying that because I want to say that, I have physical evidence of what I'm telling you, that people that are working in government will tell you that they have the Labour Party ideology. That's what they support. And think of what the ideology is. They mention it every day. It's always about the Mali way. Think of it. Brother man, if you eradicate poverty in St. Lucia, then as the Labour Party, then who are you going to govern?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you going to? I want the people that are jumping iron low for the SLP party to think of that for a minute. Just think of it for a minute to understand what is happening. Brother Gaffel, these guys are playing games with the people.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to tell the people, think of that again for a second. You are the taxpayers. You are the one who transfer that power to these guys. However, you know whose interest they're working in?
Talk to me.
They're working in the interest of their donors. You see the problem? Because they're already thinking of the next general election for these guys to donate 100,000, $1 million there, whatever the thing may be. That is where the problem is. You, the people, you'll always come last because they put their donors, then themselves, and you last.
Mm-hmm.
When you're the one who giving them that power, and they're supposed to work in your interest. Until St. Lucians realize that's what's happening to them, Brother Gaffel, we're not going to get out of this,
And
we're not.
That's right.
And sorry?
You're right.
And one of the worst thing is we keep trying to see if we can get those older people to understand that. They can't understand it, Brother Gaffel. Because you know why? They already make themselves believe all I am is a labor or all I am is a flabo. You understand?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is where you have to look at those younger kids that are growing up. And I'm not just looking at it to be only political, I also look at it to be educating them on a level where they will not be joining gangs also. Because if you start from the primary level, you start teaching those kids, then you would have a brighter future, brother. Because a lot of these kids don't know what is the value of the country that they're living in. They have no idea.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think they never teach us about managing our money in school? Think of it for a second. Why? Because you have to pay someone to manage your money for you.
That's right.
Right? That's a system. That's the system. So the same with that Labour Party. If I keep you poor, Brother Gaffel, then you have to always elect me to manage you.
Mm-hmm.
So I give you little as I want. So I keep controlling you.
Yep.
You see? These guys know exactly what they want. the people that will not be able to pay the taxes, Brother Garfield, would be the small guys. And you know who the small guys are? Those same young people that they want to, they claim that they quote unquote youth economy, that they try to tell you that they're going to build. You live in the US, Brother Garfield. You know, any new business, for it to get off the ground, it needs at least 5 years to really establish itself. You know that.
Yep.
Okay? You giving those young kids money, and you tell it, or young entrepreneurs, I should say, money. You give them loans, grants, whatever, loans there. And then you tell them to start a business. However, that business you're asking them to start, you as a government have nothing in place. Zero. Whether it's for manufacturing, whether it's for exporting, you have nothing in place. You have no infrastructure in place. But you want to give them money to do business startup. Yeah. What businesses are they starting up? What are these businesses? You know? What technology have you brought in this country where they can actually use to their advantage? What have you brought in? You see, the people, Brother Garfield, if you have them in the slums living, if you take them out of the slum, let's say you take someone in the slums of Masha and you bring them, sorry, Masha people for using you all as an example, but I have to use somewhere as an example, you know, and you take them and let's say you bring them in the suburbs. You see how everything is nipped in the suburbs where you have to take your trash, put it by the road, then the garbage truck pass, take it, then you have to take those bins back in. You know the whole scenario.
Yep.
Right? If you were to take someone there and bring there, you know they don't want to stay there because things are too well organized, things are too well placed. You know, they like things in disarray. You see, one minister told the people, no one will touch y'all. Y'all can go and sell anywhere. And the people love that, man. They praise that.
Yep.
Oh, that's the best thing anybody has done for them. Not realizing that person is not for them, you know. You see, and I can draw many references to show you the people of St. Lucia how much this Labour Party and the ones before never liked them. There is a report that came out, and that report that came out is for every government. I'm not talking just about the Labour Party. However, from 1997 up to now, the Labour Party has been in office, or I should say in power, more than the United Workers' Party. Now, the survey that came out, the document that came out is saying how much wastage that is happening within governments in the Caribbean. Have you heard of that?
Yes. Yes.
Billions of dollars being wasted.
Yep.
You know, think of that for a second. Why is it these guys keep wasting money and yet still the World Bank is still borrowing them or still allowing these nonsense to happen? Because the only thing I can think of, Brother Garfield, is because the World Bank themselves or those guys that are giving those loans out there or these grants or however, they like what is happening in those countries. They probably benefit somewhere, somehow with what's happening in those countries. Because I cannot fathom how somebody can be wasting money in such, even if you were working for the private sector and you were to be wasting company dollars like that, do you think that you would be employed? you don't think that you'd be losing your job?
Exactly. You're gone.
You see?
Yep.
This is the logic I just cannot understand. And yet still we have these politicians. A man is not performing. For over 25 years he's been representing y'all. Yet still y'all have the audacity to still vote for him and even make him prime minister. Like, where will that ever happen, my brother? You know? It's mind-boggling. So how can you not see That is the problem we have in these small islands. The people don't know better, Brother Garfield, and those that are supposed to teach them better, because they have, like, again, the ideology that they align themselves with, they will never tell the people that we are better than that.
That's right.
Some of them even fool their own parents in voting into that nonsense.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, man. And every time I look at this thing, it upsets me. You know, because I am saying that we keep going back to the same thing. Brother Garfield, if you don't want gangs, if you want to eradicate gangs, what do? Not tackle the youth that is growing up?
That's right.
How can you go and tackle those guys that already lost? You cannot bring them back. They're gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that is where you have to put the money. Put money into social development of those young kids that are coming up. You know, so that if you leave them idling like you left those that are already in the gang, then you fail in them, and it's a continuous failure.
Yep.
Because every single generation is gonna fall in the same trap.
That's right. So we're not tackling the problem at the root.
No, my brother,
No,
we're not.
We're not. We are playing games.
Someone said to me, Brother Garfield, I was listening to I think it was Champagne I was listening to one time. I was at work.
Mm-hmm.
And someone said to me, those small islands, a lot of money has been spent in them, you know. And I say, what do you mean? Say, when you look at the budgets that are calling those small islands for the amount of people that live there, there's a lot of money being spent in there, you know. And I told a person that, yes, indeed, there is a lot of money being spent. But you don't see what these monies are doing for these people that are living on these islands. You know,
that's right. And Colin, go ahead.
And then he said to me, it's because of most of these monies are not being circulated in the island. They keep leaving the island, so that's why you don't really see what's happening on the island with these monies. Yes, it come in, but how fast does it go out? And it's true.
You see, the problem in the country too is that our leaders they're not visionary leaders, and they're out of ideas. It is very clear, and the world, major financial institutions who are loaning these guys money. And I said to my listeners before that these institutions, all these loans that you are hearing in St. Lucia, that your St. Lucian government is taking, it comes with a lot of fine prints. And most of those fine prints end up where your very constitution will have to be adjusted to accommodate them.
Yeah.
And
Correct.
so because there is no vision, the people are perishing. Because there is no vision, my friends, then we are experiencing what we're experiencing now. And I would say if only we would have leaders with vision to develop the country through employment, through factories, through opening ways where people can work. The more people you have working is the better for your pocket. Let's get our people working.
I couldn't agree more with you, Brother Garfield.
You will have no need for major loans.
Brother Garfield, all what you say in there is 100% true.
Talk to me.
However, anytime you see any prime minister, and it has come to pass, it happened under Alan Chasney. Any prime minister that is coming in there to change the demographic of St. Lucia, to change how the people are thinking, to change how the people are living for a betterment, you will be met by what was all those groups? I forget their name. A bunch of them. They're all out there. Now they disappear. I don't know. They evaporated, maybe. I don't know. They're like water during a storm. You know, they come and they go.
But remember, we said that many of those people are not happy they're not quiet because they're happy and everything else. Some of them are quiet, just burning out time, hoping that 5 years come and they will vote differently. Most of these packs and groups out there,
Yes.
some of them are breaking
Some.
and they're coming out right now.
The thing is, but listen, Brother Gaffin, we have to be honest, and when you look at what is really happening, some of these people that you're referring to, you see the moment. Let me give you an example. I like to give examples. You know, you could remember a call when I think not a call, sorry, some recording about Christopher Hunt. I think he was talking to someone. He sent a voice note, and it got leaked.
Yep.
Okay.
I listened to it last week. Again? Yeah.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yeah.
What have happened? He got himself a nice paycheck, and everything went away.
But he's still not
With
comfortable.
whose money he got that paycheck? You see, but my brother, we need to challenge those things. We need to challenge those. This is where the problem lies.
That's right.
You see, if you call yourself a patriot and you claim to love your country, because of a few dollars, no matter your circumstance, no matter what is happening, because they put you somewhere that you may not feel comfortable there. However, you get in a salary, and that's the bottom line, the salary that you're receiving. Not realizing your neighbor may be two houses down is suffering because of that decision you've made. People don't think about that in St. Lucia, you know.
That's right.
They think of themselves only. We have a perfect example of a particular politician down there, the Central Castries politician. This guy always think of himself. The people know that, but yet they still keep voting for them. But Gaffil, we need a revamp in that country. But I'm telling you, it is one of somebody have to do it. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
No matter how someone needs to do it, you will face adversity, but someone needs to do it.
Yeah.
You know, because we are going down a slippery slope, and if we don't check ourselves now, I don't think 20 years down the line, going this way, Brother Gaffel will have a country to go back to. That's just my opinion.
And I respect that. Yes.
Have yourself a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much. Always a pleasure. All right, welcome. My brethren, that was one of our popular callers. But let's go back to the tax bill in itself came as a result of loans that we received from outside financial agencies. And the crooked thing I'll tell you about, and yes, they're trying to protect their monies and everything else, their investment and stuff like that. But these financial institutions, many of them these people have no heart. A lot of them have no heart, no soul. And we have seen the nastiness that many of them have done to smaller developing states and poorer states, whether it's in Africa or around the world. Yeah, like somebody would say, there is no free lunch. So when you guys are hearing about, well, we got to pass new legislation, blah, 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 for this and for that, it is because of external pressure. And I would not be surprised if the government of St. Lucia make an attempt to adjust the definition of marriage. I will not be surprised if that pressure does not show up at the doorstep of our government because they're desperate for loans. And by the way, the same loans that they said, well, we don't need to take in, we put in debt on our children and our grandchildren. Now there is no children and grandchildren. Every week is a loan. And yes, while I understand that struggling nations, developing nations, depend on outside loans. We also got to look at the inside. How can we take those monies and invest them to the point where we can get triple the return? How can we invest our monies so that, one, we can get our citizens to work, we can keep them at work, because when you're talking about getting them to work and keeping them to work, you're talking about sustainable jobs. Not little step programs and little handout during elections and special seasons and back to school, little 2-week step program or little canal to dig. Sustainable jobs. And maybe it's time for St. Lucians to get off of their behinds and start figuring out how can they go out there and make something that is sustainable. And how can they create an income source that is sustainable? How? And the truth is, I would love to see how the youth economy is going. I would love to have to see the internal stuff going on there. Are those businesses sustainable? How are we helping our young people with the grants and the loans? How are we helping them to survive in these times that we're in? Sustainable jobs, it is what's needed. We got to do our best to try to ease off on some of these loans that we are walking around our knees begging for, literally begging. And because we are so desperate, and the world need to, and the bigger superpowers need to spread the agenda, then they look at these countries on their knees and say, look, go do that first. Go do that first. And come back, we'll give it to you. The nasty thing about our government system in developing states is that there is not enough accountability and transparency. So that you will hear the debate in the House and they will just tell you, well, we got a loan 40 million or 30 million from this government, and they will never, and they will tell you the terms, and this, it's for 2 years, 5 years before we pay it back, and the 5% and blah blah blah, and then they start cussing off the opposition in the middle of it to avoid giving you the details. What is in the fine print? So they camouflage the fine prints with a whole set of a noise, nothing to do with the loan and the document that they're presenting for votes. And you know what St. Lucians do? They're under the live insulting each other, joining in the mirage. That's what it is. It's a mirage. It's fake gold. Distraction. And that's why, for me, when I have conversations with people, heated conversations, and they want to give me the mépris and everything, I wait until they finish, give all their mépris, and I go back to the point. I say, okay, now that you have satisfied yourself in calling me all the names, have nothing to do with what we're discussing, now let's have a conversation on the weightier matter. Let's get back. Let's get back to the discussion. Now that you have insulted, and that's what we need to have happening in the House. After all the insults, then we need to say to them, okay, now that you're happy playing with your toys, let's get back to work. Now that you're telling Chastney he's white and he have an accent and he's not one of us and blah, 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 black sheep, let's get back to the substantial matter. Our government ministers are distracted like little kids with toys. And they are not even, if the Prime Minister is right that his cabinet, nobody in the cabinet saw the bill or know what's going on there, and he himself got sidetracked with it, it means that they have been very successful. They have been very successful in distracting themselves with their toys that they miss the weightier matter, like a tax proposed bill that is a dangerous one that should not even come out of anybody's brain, whoever was thinking about it. It passed them by. And you know what they come to us and say to us? Listen to this.
Yes, go ahead. That's a brilliant idea.
But it's a bit inconsiderate.
Listen.
Yes, go ahead. That's a brilliant idea.
But
That's a brilliant idea. Yes, go ahead.
if this, as it is, or maybe a few changes are done, and this goes through the final process where it's drafted finally, as for legislation to be passed in Parliament, it will then be brought to your attention, I guess, then. And this finally goes through. It means you're in agreement with what the former Prime Minister initiated.
When I see the draft, I'm in agreement with what he initiated. Of course, I'm in agreement with it. I'm in agreement with it. It's a good idea. It's a very good idea. Of course, because how you can have 12 pieces of legislation for taxes in this country?
So, St. Lucians, so we got a view of a bill, a proposed bill, coming out from the government of St. Lucia before the government of St. Lucia. That's all it is. Let me repeat this. We as citizens, both in the diaspora and on soil in St. Lucia, got to see a proposed tax bill before the government of St. Lucia. That's all it is, you know. In a nutshell, brethren, that's what the Prime Minister is saying to the press and to us. I don't know if I'm making sense, if I'm losing my head, but I would love for someone to correct me. And I do not want to lie or mislead anyone with what the Prime Minister is saying. But that's what I gather from him. You hear me? Let's go back to the man.
Submitted by the Department of Finance and approved the request for creation of the Tax Administration and Procedures Act to harmonize the administrative, collections, and penal provisions of the various pieces of legislation that are currently administered by the Inland Revenue Department. Further, by memo dated November 3rd, 2020, December 3rd, 2020, from the Ministry of Finance, Economic Growth, Job Creation, External Affairs, and Public Service, headed by the former Prime Minister, states.
Now, if those of you who studied psychology, if you look at the Prime Minister, well, you see the Prime Minister looking to see the response when he say the former government. You all observe that? Now let me put on some gadget on me so that I can, let me just put on my air. Just give me a minute. Bear with me. Let me get my air in. Sorry. Good. So now I can actually, let's go back. Look at this. Observe.
Wishes to inform the Cabinet by
Observe.
conclusion number 1511 of 2020, considered a memorandum dated 13th November 2020, submitted by the Department of Finance and approved the request for creation of the Tax Administrative Procedures Act to harmonize the administrative, collections, and penal provisions
Anytime he says
of the
opposition,
various pieces of legislation that are currently administered by the Inland Revenue Department. The aforementioned is for your attention and necessary action. Can I read that again? By memo...
no, No. Don't do that. Let's go back. Let's go back again, all right? Now, there's a method to my madness here. Just bear with me, folks.
Of finance, economic growth, job creation, external affairs, and public service. There is no such ministry in my administration. And it says, which I have read for you. Cabinet, by conclusion, approved the request for creation. Approved the request for creation of the Tax Administrative Procedures Act to harmonize the administrative collection.
St. Lucians, we want our money back. All the money is that we have paid these ministers, they got to refund us. They got to refund us. Why am I saying this? Them fellas were there in leadership. Them fellas were there for a very long time, eating taxpayers' money, pretending like they're working on taxpayers' behalf. But yet, this is what they're throwing at us. He's acting like he don't understand the process of government, the continuity of government. Call you on the air, Caribbean American News Media.
I hope I can take some of your time again, Brother Garfield.
Man, go ahead. You're welcome at any time.
I forgot to mention that part. Brother Garfield, it's a good thing you play in these things, and not just playing it, and you making sure that the people are following that. Because if you clearly watch the man, when the man come to the point where he's asking the reporters for questioning, and his demeanor, just if you pay attention to him, this man came there not to inform the public of the draft bill. He came there to basically see if he could have used that draft bill politically to see if he could harm Alan Charles Slay, because it was all about Alan Charles Slay.
Yeah.
But
he was hoping that the press was the former presses in the past that sits there and say, "No more questions, Mr. Prime Minister, we love you." He don't realize that the press are now awakened.
No.
And this young lady, I'm proud of her. She kept him on his heel at the point where he got wet around the collar.
I think the voice there was Kami. It sounded like Kami or one of them there from DBS.
DBS, all right.
It sounded like one of them from DBS.
Yeah, you wouldn't get that from HTS.
But the point I want to make concerning the Prime Minister with that draft bill, Brother Garfield, in any other country, people would question the Prime Minister's mental state.
Yeah.
Because why would you come and have a press conference to let the public know that draft bill, it had nothing to do with you? However, it's a brilliant idea. Like, how does that even make sense as to what you're trying to achieve? Because we all know what he was trying to achieve.
I think he confused the instructions from the former government. He confused
the instruction. Exactly.
Because
you see where we're coming from.
Well, if we understand how government operates, one, based on what he's saying to us, he confused himself that the former government, Mr. Chastney, he instructed the Inland Revenue Department to move forward in putting something together, putting a proper legislation together for taxes in the country.
But if you listen to the man when he first started and when he was ending, it's a totally different thing. Because if he had come to the press conference and explained to the people, because he himself, I don't think he understood what he came with.
I think his agenda, as you said, his agenda was to tie this around Shaston neck and say it's not us, it's them. I'm
telling you, that's what it was. Because the proposed draft bill for the discussion, it is so simple. All the former Prime Minister is asking is to take all those 12 existing laws that are there, those tax laws that are there, and combine them and make them one, and stop wasting people's time.
That's
what
right.
he basically is saying.
But based on what
And
the accountant was saying last night, there was stuff that was added to it that were not in the
Now,
bills.
that is where he because again, that's what I'm saying to you. When he first came on there, his agenda wasn't to inform the public about the bill.
That was to defend
was
himself.
never his-
It was to
Yes.
defend his government and push it as far away from his government as possible.
from his government.
But after 3
But
years,
when
you
the
can't do it.
question came to him, when the question came to him, he had to admit that it's a brilliant idea. Can you believe this, man?
No,
You
after he made the
sometimes-
attempt, and I like you. You're smart. You're very smart. After the man made the attempt, to tie it as a bad deal around Mrs. Shasti's neck, after all the pressure, he comes back and he said, "It's a good deal. Look, it's brilliant. It's a
And
good
he called
deal."
it brilliant. Who disassociate themselves from a brilliant idea? I don't get that. You have to be narcissistic to come and talk these. I don't understand the Prime Minister, honestly. Like that argument, I don't get it. The only thing I got out of it, Brother Garfield, is that he really wanted to see if he could stick that on the Prime Minister the way he first read it. He just read it. And he remember the discussion the public was having. The public was furious because they were hearing that the government can deprive them from traveling.
And his own buddies, his own rich people were saying, "Are you crazy? We owe millions of dollars in tax. You coming for our house? Man, take that out. What nonsense you doing? Do you want money for your next election? Move it."
That's what I can't fathom that, but I'm telling you, this one will take me a while to understand it. Because I'm telling you, if this man was in a different country, they would ask him to step down. You would have psychologists evaluating
I
him,
was just gonna
and
say
they would
that.
tell him that he's unfit for office. I'm pretty sure.
It's funny. Thank you
Oh,
so
my God.
much. This
Have
is
a good
funny.
one.
I know you will call back. I ain't worry about you, man. The call is right. Let's go back to the confusion, folks.
Of the various pieces of legislation that are currently administered by the Inland Revenue Department. The aforementioned is for your attention and necessary action. That's a memo from the ministry to the Comptroller of Inland Revenue, to the Director of Research, instructing them to prepare the draft bill that's in circulation. My government has absolutely no input in that bill. My cabinet has not seen that bill. That bill is being circulated with our position on transparency and accountability.
Oh, no.
And usher him out. Take his microphone and usher him out.
Now, wait a minute. The Prime Minister said, right? Now, every time I listen, I get more confused. He said, none of my ministers have seen this. But but it's out there circulating because it's part of our government's policy of transparency, basically. So his government put it out, but his people haven't seen it. It falls out from the sky. It came out from somewhere in the bushes. Of Green Parrot. Up the moon. La Pani Green Parrot occur. So we have never seen it, but our government, it goes with our government's position on transparency. See, Mordecai boy, this would have been a beautiful time for my boy day shot. sa glo, sa anyen, si mwen te kabwe. Because moi-même, nahen migraine right now. So let we go back again.
For public discussion. It has not come to cabinet. It has not been approved. And it's not our creation. It's the creation of the former government.
How to open your car door.
Questions. Thank you very much. We will email you the statement at the end. The statement. We email it. We email it to you. Yes. Questions.
So you said, I want to make something clear. The bill that is being circulated, who gave the authorization for it?
I just read.
You're saying-
That is the circulation is for public discussion by the technocrats, the technical people. Before it comes, they go and give it to the public.
Okay, so folks, let me just educate you here. The technical people, when he say it, the technical people, he's speaking about his government. The technical people in his government. C'est moun nan ki ka travaye pi a di dan ministry a gouvernement. So, nepot le utan mi se ka di the technocrats. It is not people like JQ Charles or Bobby's, sorry, Bob, or what you call that place, SNS. It's not anybody from Marcy. It's not anybody from the fisheries, the fishermen in Dennery or the boat boys who clean the fish. It's not from them. Se moun la mi se ka pale about se mem se moun la ki in charge of se moun la ou sav. Esa ko pon tanadi. Okay, so let me switch to what I know best. A little English. All right? Witila.
This memo is from 2020,
Yes,
right? Your
yes.
administration came into power in 2020.
Yes.
Right. Was this bill ever in circulation or for consultation prior to
It hadn't been prepared.
It had not been
No, the instructions to prepare came from 2020.
The instructions came from here.
To prepare it, and you take time to prepare a bill, don't you?
Yes.
Yes.
So then this is from the AG's office, right? It would be.
What's in the AG's office?
Who's preparing the bill?
The
Is it
bill.
draft?
Okay. You want, you know?
Okay, good. This, folks, stay with me here. This, honestly, I got to find out who this journalist is and send her something special because she was on to something. This girl came prepared. She was on to something. Now, Witila, y'all share the live. If you all didn't share the live, share the live. A lot of you come on the live, you don't share it, you don't like it. We doing things right now, all right? Listen. You know who's responsible, who, when you talk about legislation and bills in the country, you know who deals with that also? The Attorney General. You know who the Attorney General work with? The Prime Minister. You know this Attorney General. Also, when the last administration who gave the instructions. So the AG, the guy who sits next to him in the house while he's doing a lot of illegal stuff sometimes, he and the speaker violating a lot of stuff, ending up in court having to pay monies. The same AG who sits there in a daze and sits with a little smile sometimes, knew of this document, but his boss don't know about it. Mr. Pear, you telling us that your government is dysfunctional, and we have a solution later on for you, sir.
The important point is that the instruction to prepare the bill came from the former government. That's what's important.
Okay, sir, we understand the instructions. We understand who gave the instructions. We understand enough about the instructions. I know You want to tie it around Mr. Chasney's neck as much as you can, but we are away. We are 3 years plus away from the instructions. And once we are 3 years away from the instructions, it means that you, sir, is responsible for it. It's in your hands. That if it's a time bomb, or an atomic bomb, or whatever bomb it is in your hands. So therefore, you are the ones. You are responsible with your gang to defuse the bomb, sir. But let's go on. You want to send back the bomb 3 years back in time? That doesn't happen. What you have? You have a special machine to go back in time, a time machine? It's your bomb. When it blew up in your face. After 3 years. It's in your ministry. It's under your chair. It's on your desk. It's in your room. It sits next to you in the house, sir. Hello. But let me go back. Who am I?
AG on the Inland Revenue, the instruction, the order to prepare the bill came from the former Prime Minister as evidenced by a document. We're not getting involved in you say, I say, she say. A document which is an instruction from the former Prime Minister to prepare the bill. What happens after that?
Okay, stop, Mr. Prime Minister. You're the Prime Minister. Stop blaming Mr. Chasney for everything in St. Lucia. You are in charge, not Mr. Chasney. 1 year ago, we could have understood that. Chasney could have taken all the pluck. But, sir, you are the Prime Minister. You have an Attorney General who sat there with the former Prime Minister. You have a governor, an Attorney General who sat there with the Inland Revenue Department. You have a Governor General, an Attorney General who sits with you and advises you on legal matters that took us into court. And you lose in court. You and the Attorney General are very much aware. How come the only person you're aware of in the bill is Alan Chasney? The only thing you knew about the bill is the instructions?
And usher him out. Take the microphone. And
St. Lucia, you guys are operating Clown City, and to me, if I want to go to a circus, I know of one right here, Coney Island in Brooklyn. St. Lucia is supposed to be a paradise, led by geniuses. We boast of you know what? Let the man speak because I'm getting too emotional now. I need to calm down. All right? Good. Let's go back to the clip.
Instructions, the Inner Revenue proceeded to prepare a bill, which, according to the instruction, it says to harmonize the administrative collections and
Sir,
penal-
forget about the instructions. We understand the instructions. We understand. Oh, yeah, fine. Chasney, give the instructions to start the process. Fine. You wanted to tie the new hospital around his neck. You call it a box to tie it around his neck because you couldn't tie the hospital around his neck no other way but to degrade it and to call it names with the intention of tying it around his neck. That's what you did. A glorified car park, a shell, a box. It's not good. It's wasted money. Now you're trying the same foolishness. So let's move on from the instructions, sir. Now you, Mr. Oliver, need to breathe and cool out yourself. Thank you. I hear myself. So I'll cool down. So let me take it slowly. You try to tie the hospital in Vieux Fort around Mr. Chasney's neck. You try to tie the airport around his neck. You try to tie the Grosley Highway around his neck. You try to tie a Panama account around his neck. You try to tie the people's business around Mr. Chasney's neck, and now you're trying to tie the guess what? The only thing, sir, that your government is not tying around Mr. Chasney's neck is the improvement after he left in the economy, the growth. The growth in the country. That one you took and you never said is Chasney. But everything that you perceive is bad, or your Mongoose gang perceive is bad, you try to tie it around his neck. And every time you try to tie it, it comes out good. You try to tie the Diamol around his neck. Your government end up coming back to tell us it's going to come back into the government's hand after we based on the agreement. The building is finished. We're just trying to see which government agency we can move in to the Diamol. But it's going to come back into the government's hands. It's going to be the government's property. Mr. Chasney said that. You said it was a bad deal. You tried to tie that around his neck. You try to tie the Grosley Highway around his neck, finding out that Mr. Chasney's father donated the land that you guys accuse him of building roundabout or whatever it is because he started to have land there. You try to tie everything around his neck in the country. And sadly, I repeat myself, in order to tie the new building at St. Jude's around his neck, you have to dirty the new building. You have to say all manner of evil. It's leaking, an unfinished building, An unfinished building, you complain that an unfinished building is leaking. And then you call it a box when you couldn't find nothing else to say. You call it a box. And then you come back and you tell the St. Lucian people, we'll be using some of the box. And this time, you use an accent on the box. This time,
this platform may not align with.
This time, the Prime Minister, in speaking of the new state-of-the-art building, he calls it a box in a beautiful accent. Very soon, my prediction is that it will no longer be called a box or a glorified car park. It's going to be a brilliant building. Oh my God, brethren, do you see the beauty of this building? Why? Because you put your foot on it. So you consider it yours now, so it is good now. But let's go back to the substantial matter before this honorable court.
Hold on. After it is prepared by the technical people, it is circulated, and then it comes to the cabinet. The cabinet opines, discusses, and it turns it to the Attorney General for necessary changes, and then it goes to the Parliament. Anything before that is
okay. So it means, friends, based on what the Honorable Prime Minister is saying to us, is that he said the bill is supposed to go to the Attorney General. So here we have a bigger problem now. So the bill bypassed the Prime Minister, bypassed the Attorney General, bypassed government ministers, went out to the public for consultation.
And usher him out. Take his microphone and usher him out. Take his microphone and usher him out.
to the Parliament. Anything before that is just a piece of paper. So what you have is a piece of paper. You have a piece of paper that was prepared by the technocrats for discussion and circulation on instruction from the former Minister of Finance.
So again, he tried to tie it around Mr. Shastanek again, but that kwavat sa mem, I may say, a vie kwavat killer because that kwavat can't go around Mr. Shastanek's neck. So he tried to tie a kwavat from the time he starts the press conference. He trying to tie. He can try my way. He can try my way. Mais pas à point. Press a dit not so fast. Pas ici. Not in here. Pas ici. So Bukla can faire shake you.
There are concerns. Can you,
Go ahead. Let her go ahead. Go ahead.
there are concerns about the bill. People who have seen it, they have the concerns are
Sorry.
the restrictions on movement.
We don't speak the concerns, and we have. What I'm saying to you is that what I want to dispel, that bill was not initiated by my government.
So that's his agenda. That's the agenda. Just to say it is not my government, it's not me. Huh? Meti reporters are like a mosquito. Yes, reporters are like a mosquito. I give up. But you pay guys because we're Fiji Prime Minister. We're Prime Minister can just get the attaché. Give me a can of spray. Anyway, let me behave myself and go back. That's funny. You ever meet those people, the more you tell them something, is the more you got you just laugh. So the more the Prime Minister repeats, it's not us or it's them. It's the more the reporter coming. It's the more the reporters coming, and the more the reporters coming. I thought he was going to take off his tie. Anyway, boy, behave yourself. Okay, no problem. Let's get back to work.
This bill was prepared on instruction by the former government with the following instructions: to harmonize.
The content on this platform may
That's the sixth or seventh time. Where Mundi? Mundi. Produce. Anyway, let's get back to a show.
Administrative, collections, and penal provisions of the various pieces of legislations that are currently administered by the Inland Revenue Department. That was also
The
read.
Minister of Finance
Mosquito
right now,
Akoi.
you have the power to stop that.
When it comes to me, when it comes to the cabinet,
So you're telling me technocrats from your department
Yes.
underneath in your ministry
Yes.
are doing something and you have no idea about it?
they are doing what they have to do. They have to circulate, because you see, it only becomes important when it's passed. Right now, it's a piece of paper. It only becomes important when.
So, right now, the legislation is not important because it's just a piece of paper. So, when it goes into the House, it becomes a piece of gold. So, right now, it means nothing. Right now, the bill is just piece of paper. It's just piece of receipt. It ain't nothing to worry about, nothing. Why are you circulating something that ain't mean nothing to the public? Why? All stages of a bill is important as far as I am concerned. Because based on what you put, or your technocrats and Attorney General, by the way, the Attorney General is missing in this process. He's missing in action. He don't know who is guiding them. So the man is saying, look, forget about it, don't worry about it. But it seems to me that he wants you to worry about who instructed. The piece of paper with the instructions is more important than the bill itself. Now remember, on the instruction, it have no bill, nothing, It's just an instruction to the departments to get to work on this. So he's telling you, based on his emphasis on the instructions, that the instructions have more weight than the bill itself that can affect you and I. Let's go.
Process is a piece of paper for circulation. That's all it is.
Prime Minister is going through consultation
Yes.
now.
Uh-huh.
So it is important what is
Yes, and that is why we're having the consultation. But what I'm talking about is the blame. What I'm talking about is
So now we are having consultation. He don't know about the bill, but now all of a sudden later on in the interview, after a whole 25 minutes on the instruction, plan one fail. So plan one fail, the instruction fail. So now the man is getting agitated. They're not accustomed to questions. They're not accustomed to the press not giving up like Natty Conqueror. The press not giving up. Natty ain't giving up. And so Natty is like a little mosquito in the air of our Prime Minister.
Pierre is the one who did that. That's the point I'm making.
But so what are your thoughts on that?
I haven't seen it. I haven't read it.
Prime Minister, I'm confused.
If I were you, I'd be confused too, because I could not understand.
Prime Minister pull a bad. Ooh, I get a migraine, brethren. Ooh, Papa, one massive migraine. I gotta cool down. So the Prime Minister pull a bad on the poor little the Prime Minister pull a bad, I tell you, just now he moving his tie. Tell him he's like a tear jacket, Leah. Let's go.
Didn't initiate.
Okay. Recently, at your cabinet briefing, earlier this week on Monday, you spoke of a $40 million loan from the World Bank. And I remember you saying that the monies from those monies would be used for revamping the operations of the Inland Revenue Department.
This brand new mini Wi-Fi camera.
Wait till I will see. Wait till I.
What's the relation to that?
You spoke about modernization,
Yeah, go ahead.
streamlining and everything.
Yeah,
So, is this bill part of that plan?
A bill, part of a plan to modernize?
this-
No. No. You have it. Let's go through that slowly.
Like I said,
Let's
I'm
go through
confused.
slowly. There's no need to be confused. In December 2020,
Now, remember he just told her that he understands why she is confused. But now he says to her, there is no reason for you to be confused. Let's go back.
of Finance instructed the Inland Revenue to prepare a bill to harmonize. No, hold on. I'm saying, I'm having a press conference. To harmonize
So the Prime Minister pull a bad on the press.
and penal provisions of the various pieces of legislation that are currently administered in 2020. What you're speaking about is in 2023 is a grant or a loan to deal with procedures in revenue, collections of taxes, records not to be.
So, brethren, what he's not telling you is that as a result of that loan, the $40 million loan, they got to do what they're doing now. So he pretending, if he knew about the loan, now stay with me, St. Lucians. And if I'm sounding foolish, you got to please call me and help me out. Right? One, the man tell the reporter he's the one who doing the press conference. But it's really the reporter's time to ask questions. Right? Good. So he's kind of getting a little, the room is becoming smaller there for him. But, you know, the Prime Minister, Reverend, if you listen carefully, he said that he knows about the $40 million loan for the Inland Revenue Department. He's aware of it. If the Prime Minister is aware of the loan, then Mr. Prime Minister would be aware of the accompanying documents to get the Inland Revenue Department, get these legislation moving. So the terms of the loan, I am sure, would be pass this law in your house. Now, I stopped for a while for you to understand what just happened there. He's aware of the loan, but he's not aware of the legislation that is moving around right now.
But that's
Completely different things.
I need to understand this. So give me a.
But there's no connection.
So there is a former reporter that he hired, and he's in there in the same room trying to control the people and tell them what to say and trying to explain. Sir, whoever you are, they didn't hire you as Prime Minister. You allow the Prime Minister to answer those questions. Sapazafo, that's beyond your pay grade, sir. You allow the Prime Minister, because it seems like you know more than the Prime Minister. You allow him to answer the questions from the press, and don't try to stifle them. Brethren, at this point, all hell break loose. All the other reporters start acting up. All the other reporters now. That's why the other gentleman who works with the Prime Minister in his office is coming in now to save him and say, you all behave yourself, your staff. Yeah, and this is what the Prime Minister is saying. You shut your mouth and let the Prime Minister speak. If you know more than the Prime Minister, put him to sit down and you go and take the mic. But until then, you sit down there. Declare yourself. If you know more than him, go up there and you answer the questions. But until then, you sit where you are and hush your mouth. Right now, what you should be doing is giving the Prime Minister a rag. You know those little portable fan? Give him one and give him a glass of water. That's what you can do right now for this situation here. Let's go on. People don't know how to know their place.
How is there no connection?
There's no
But
connection.
he just said procedures and everything. So
Right, so
Operations on the level.
you just spoke about
Alright.
procedures.
So let me give you an example. Let's say Inland Revenue needs money or but money.
Hush your mouth.
Paper. Some of that loan from the $40 million will be allocated to help them with those kinds of office.
The
We
operations.
let the Minister of Finance answer
But he
those
explained it,
questions.
so he
Shouldn't-
explained it one way and
and
another
he
way.
is the minister, right? Should we let him answer the question?
So hold a minute,
What I'm
Reverend.
saying.
I tell you, all hell break loose. Now, the press now is sticking in his attaché or assistant attaché or whoever the gentleman is in his office. They're sticking it in his skin because he's trying to explain something. So this guy basically is saying, look, Prime Minister, you're not clear enough, so let me help you get clearer. And the press jump in his skin. Huh? Let the people answer. Not you. They hire you to answer no question, you Prime Minister. Allow this Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister, to answer the questions. He's the one who called the press conference. But this press conference was one of a difference. The other ones were friendly. They were nice. You can walk in and walk out. Yes, man, but this time, the press came prepared. Wow, mama, let's go.
To you, if I were you, I'll be confused at the actions of the former Minister of Finance.
So here we go again. He is trying
If I
solutions.
had
Here we go again. He's trying to go after the former Minister of Finance, Mr. Chasney. So he's saying to her now, she can be confused now. So she should go after Alan Chasney for the instructions. And our problem is not the instructions, you know. Our problem is the bill, Mr. Prime Minister. But you're stuck on the instructions because the instructions came under Alan Chasney and the bill is being developed under you. Period. And the shameful thing is that you don't know. And why we're saying you don't know, you told us you don't know. And if you know, it means that you're lying to the people of St. Lucia.
initiated an instruction to prepare a bill, and the bill is now in the public domain, I would have allowed the public to discuss it. And don't blame somebody who did not instruct to prepare it. I wouldn't blame them. That's what I'm concerned.
So he gone back again on the instruction, St. Lucian. Why? Because Chasney is behind the instructions. Mr. Prime Minister, you need to focus. They're speaking to you about the bill. The bill. The bill. The bill. That's what they're speaking about, not the instructions. All of us, all St. Lucians understand that the instructions came from Mr. Chasney. All of us. So that's not even a problem for the press. So we're going to ask you to deal with the bill.
Modernizing of the operational department have nothing to do with the circulation of a draft bill that was instructed by the former Minister of Finance.
Here we go again.
How to stay alive in a catastrophic...
Brethren. Let's go.
Okay, hold on. Mr. Prime Minister, you've been a member of the
Tomahawk like I've been here, like.
past, what, 30 years, 25 years?
As many as you want.
I'm just asking, right?
That was
So,
rude.
You know better than me the inner workings of these things, right? So I'm relying on you for your expertise right now. A draft bill that was prepared, it doesn't matter when it was prepared, it doesn't matter, we understand it was prepared.
I didn't say it was prepared, I never said so. I said instructed.
Okay, the instructions,
Yes,
right?
I said.
So the instructions were from back then, but you were part of the cabinet at that time?
No. You don't even know the dates, 2020.
Yes, but you were in opposition.
Yes, I was in the cabinet. When the cabinet.
Sorry, you see, y'all have me so confused. This is very confusing, and I'm trying to put it together. So, you were part of the government. Let's just
No, I was not. I was not.
You were in opposition.
Yes.
Right, you were in opposition.
Uh-huh.
Now, when you're in opposition, you have knowledge.
No,
of,
no,
no.
no knowledge. Absolutely no knowledge. Cabinet, you see, cabinet meets with government ministers, and parliament meets with elected members.
Ah, okay. Thank you. So I guess now I know where the confusion was. Okay. So the instruction was in 2020.
Yeah.
But you are in the process of revamping the operations of the Inland Revenue Department right now.
Uh-huh.
So what I want to ask
Sorry. Lucians, forgive me. I know I'm a little miserable today. I'm sorry. But let me have my fun, please. It's my constitutional rights. It's not in the new bill, trust me.
while you're revamping the operations of the Inland Revenue Department, is this bill, the draft bill, going to come into play now?
No.
Is it going to be passed now?
The draft bill is being discussed. The discussion, after the discussion, a draft will be sent to the Minister of Finance. The Minister of Finance will look at it, send it back to the Inner Revenue Department. That will they'll consult the Attorney General, and then it will come to the Cabinet of Ministers. In the Cabinet, the Minister of Finance will present it like the former Minister of Finance instructed.
Back to the instructions.
It will opine, it will go back to the Accountant General for the necessary changes, and then it will be presented to Parliament for debate where everybody can speak.
Okay.
That's when it becomes law.
So let's go back to, what is your personal opinion on
I do not know, because I've not seen a draft from the Inner Revenue.
So we'll take a question from the
Yes?
Your administration with this emphasis on policy.
I thought you'd be very happy about the tax amnesty instead, about you not paying any fines and taxes. I thought that would be important. Yes.
Since you've placed emphasis on tax policy and implementation, would this bill merit some of the tax reforms? Would it merit?
That is why it's in discussion. You see, that's a piece of paper. It has not gone anywhere. It's for the public discussion, and people are raising their queries. And we have nothing against people raising their queries.
So, folks, it has not gone anywhere, but it has gone to the public. So the public is not anywhere. You understand what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying, friends? You see the confusion here? And I'm going to read some of the comments just now as we finish this clip. Let's finish it.
We take umbrage to is the fact that you blame the present government. That's what we take umbrage to, because it's not right. We have no problems with the discussion. You know, people can say, people can raise concerns. That's why it's in discussion. You may recall when there was a tax on charcoal that was gazetted. You may recall that, right?
He's trying to pull a fast one on Alan Chasney. Watch this.
On production of black pudding, on production of things. That was law.
Extending on your house.
That which we have not implemented. That is still the law. This, what you're watching, is a piece of paper that's in distribution for discussion, based on an instruction from the former Minister of Finance to put it together.
Instruction again from the former minister.
But what we are concerned about is the lies. I use the word lies, that these are measures proposed by this government. What is there?
Folks, that the wording in this bill was never proposed by the United Workers' Party. Period. That's a lie. It was proposed on the Philip J. Perry administration. Period.
Some instructions.
So we're back to instructions again.
Instruction from this ministry to the Parliament, to the Commissioner of Revenue. It wasn't me who gave the instruction. That's what's important. That's what we say. Yes.
Yeah, but from what the opposition have posted, a lot of the disquiet came from, I think, an excerpt of whatever document it is, that something about houses being seized if one doesn't pay one's taxes and one wouldn't be able to travel and stuff like that.
Okay. Have you read? You may be very young. You may not know that there was a time in St. Lucia when you could not travel if you didn't have a tax clearance. You know that? Yes. You don't know who removed it? Kenny Anthony and the Labour Party. You know, I'm glad I went to hope that I went to, and especially the reporters were confused. There was a time in St. Lucia when you could not travel unless you had something called a tax clearance. You went to the Inner Revenue Department.
So who care about this? Come on, let's move forward, brother. Let's move forward, please.
And you couldn't travel. So this is not new legislation. That's there. That's been there all the time. But it was kept in the books, so we clean it up. So the intention is to clean it up, which is a right intention. The intention that is correct.
Look, the man is pointing to a paper, but he said he never see the documents, and wow, this one is honestly this one is confusing.
That did not say, I will never accuse the former Prime Minister of putting that in legislation. That's not my style.
You just did, sir.
I've never accused him. What I'm saying is that was his instruction.
Back to the instructions again. Reverend, this instruction thing, I don't know what to say. We're way past this instruction story.
It's important. I'm not saying he put it. He should not say I put it. And I want to tell you that there was a time in St. Lucia when you could not travel without a tax clearance. And Kenny Anthony and the Labour Party removed it from the books.
And it ended up back on the paper under your administration. Explain that.
Anybody else have a question? Yes.
You can allow it to. Go ahead.
You want to go?
I just want to ask the Prime Minister to elaborate on his plans for the Inland Revenue Department. I think if you just
There is no.
some
What I want
tell
to.
us what exactly you intend to do so that all the
I intend the Inland Revenue
there.
to continue to circulate bills for circulation and discussion. I intend them to. I want them to continue to circulate bills for discussion and for dialogue before it becomes law.
Your proposed revamping of
The Inland Revenue Department, there are situations where the IT processes must improve so they become a modern department. That's all. So they become a modern department where information is easier, where you can go in today and find how much you owe, etc., using IT, using technology to make it a modernized tax department. So information can be easier. As it regards to bills and regulations, the procedure will be the same. It will come from an instruction from a ministry, like was the instruction from the ministry in 2020. The bill is...
Reverend, they're empowering. Simple. They're empowering the Inland Revenue Department. They're empowering them and equipping them with all the necessary gears, technology to collect the revenues and to implement and to enforce the laws on this paper. If nothing changes, then they're going to put liens on your homes. They're going to do all what is in the paper on document, and that's all it is. If there's amendment or changes to the bill, fine, that will too be enforced. They're empowering the department to collect the revenue. To collect the revenue, you got to follow the law, which is, as I said, if it's in the law for your house to be seized, your assets to be taken away from you, you'll be restricted from traveling. If that is in the bill and it's passed in the House, then he's given them the tools to do that through that $40 million loan. So you cannot separate the document, the law, the proposal from the $40 million deal to upgrade the Inland Revenue Department. The intention is to collect monies that are out there effectively, quickly, in rapido speed. That's the intention, more revenue. And how do we know that? Because your government like taxes, of course. So, anyway, let's continue quickly. This is taking up the whole night.
Necessary public discussion, it will come back to the cabinet, then go to law. There'll be no change, I can assure you.
Can I ask something off topic?
No, I want to disabuse your minds of the confusion. You know, I did something. Mistruths become truths if they're not cleared. Now, the only reason why you sound confused, because you cannot believe, and I agree with you, you cannot...
I never said I was confused, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay. Right. I am glad. You see, let me tell you why my good friend is confused. Because she cannot believe that you have a document that gives an instruction to prepare a bill.
Instruction.
And when the bill is prepared, for discussion, after you give the instruction, you blame the person who had nothing to do with it. So I agree with her. What's going on? Till I was told what was happening.
But Prime Minister,
Yes.
I think the confusion comes from the fact that you're saying that you're not aware of this bill.
That's a fact.
Something that is, I mean, this is the Inland Revenue Department.
Yes.
So you're saying they're technocrats are basically that did this.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing something.
I said the contents. My language correct?
Okay.
My language correct?
Whatever you said.
Yes.
But this is being done, whatever is being done right
Mm-hmm.
now, this is being done, right, by people that work in your ministry.
Uh-huh.
And you are unaware.
But what must I be aware of? That's discussion. There is nothing, my good lady. There is nothing. That's discussion. That's not the law. It hasn't reached me.
So, Prime Minister was just laughing a while ago. But when they see reporters are really playing, because they bring it back to that same point, to get further clarification. And so they say, wait, but it's in your ministry, or you don't know? He said, no, he don't know. He don't know it's in his ministry. But folks, let me tell you something. I don't know what to tell you all again, but I am not going to go. But let me show you something. A blogger that I came across on social media, I believe her name is Betty Jean. And here she is giving some warning to Mr. Pear. Let's hear what she has to say.
They have children that they do not want to follow their footsteps. They do not want their kids. A lot of men, a lot of people that in their life do not want their kids to follow their footsteps. So that's why you always make those mistakes. And these people, you have a good heart. Put your heart in your path to vote. If we don't vote, a party will still come. A party will still come. But at the end of the day, the government of the day now, I have to address y'all. And I always tell y'all, when y'all going wrong, I will tell y'all going wrong. I'm not under MEPWE. I have to address y'all. And I always tell y'all, when y'all going wrong, I will tell y'all going wrong. I'm not under MEPWE. You will call that man and tell him a good project towards the communities. Because of who you are. He will not take it into consideration, and that's a fact. And you're so petty. You just want to answer. That's why you always make those mistakes. Because you're so quick on answering these people. You have a good heart. Put your heart into your community. Put your heart into your country. Put your heart into your country, and it will make a difference. It's not too late. If you let UWP come back there, remember the UWP probably have understood, because people make mistakes all the time. Remember, UWP probably have understood the mistakes of neglecting the constituencies and the people. So you think they will come back and make the same mistakes? So it's up to you now, the government of today. Mr. Prime Minister, start taking the calls. Start taking the calls. Start doing for your people. The people are the ones who put you all to sit down there. You busy on answering Dale. You busy on answering that. You busy and you making mistakes. I am not the type to come and say, oh, the Prime Minister is coming. That's for the opposition and the reckless and stupid ways to come and do. I'm speaking facts. I'm speaking facts about it. I have nothing against you, apart from y'all neglecting your communities, because you also bent on showing them the ratio of how much millions y'all make. You also think that don't face the people. The amount of zeros that y'all put in, and even though y'all put it on a flat screen, some of us don't understand the figures. Some of us don't understand those figures, because some of us never even have 4 figures in our pockets. The same way Shasne came and lie about everything. So you think the man's stupid? The man not stupid. So if you don't put your feet down and take care of your people, don't care what people say. Don't even watch your, oh, you're only doing for his community. Do for your community. Yes, do for them, because Marsha Boulevard was just state. You want tomorrow the Hall of Fame would say, that's the community, the Prime Minister represented for all those years you represent. Mr. Prime Minister, the people are no longer stupid. And you should have observed from last election. Money don't face them anymore. Opportunities are the things that people need. Your labors do not feel that I'm scared to speak. UWPs don't think I scared to speak. I speak on facts. I don't speak on mepui. I don't want to represent nobody. I don't need to do that. I speaking on facts. How your community could come to me. What can I do for them? What can I do for them? You are the one that's supposed to stand up. Whilst you thinking like, boy, that's the little people. The little people giving you the votes. Why are you thinking that's the little people? You the people creeping inside there and promising them, you know. And when you as a somebody that been through it, when we always go through that we've been promised things. Now, you know, I still blame our people, you know, where they bent on petty cash and money and dry cash money. I still blaming y'all because a lot of the politicians don't want to come and sit down with y'all because I want Bossman answer $5,000. Some of y'all go as long as I want $100. Some of y'all go as long as I want $20. Look around you, my people. Watch your surroundings. And put the government back against the wall and let them know this is what we want for our communities. At the end of the day, I'm speaking out. I represent what I represent. I represent my people. I don't know about other people. I represent my people. And when I walk through the communities, especially I walk places that you thinking you back in time. You thinking they don't have that kind of poverty again. You feeling, and they have young women that trying. There was a girl, the girl tell me she have a piece of land, she have some of the materials. And she's trying and get her rep just to give her a boost. She have 4 children.
So there's a problem here in Castries where the Prime Minister is not representing his people. He's not taking their calls. The place is in a mess. There's poverty. There is pit toilets all over the place. And this woman, his supporter, is sending a message to him. And she's saying that I come to you 3 years into your administration. 3 years I am telling you, you're not doing good. You're not going fine. And you got to do what you have to do quickly, because the people are fed up with the Labour Party government. And we have been saying that as United Workers' Party supporters, that the government, they're clueless, they're full of talk, bluffs, and lies. I disagree with her, with Shastny lie and all these things. She don't know what she's saying there. That's totally nonsense. And that's all I'm saying, is that this Labour Party government feels to me like a lame duck government. They are praying for time to run out. They're out of ideas. Time is against them. And I'm telling you, when time is against a government, they do a lot of foolishness. Solutions, watch your bread. Let's listen to another surrogate quickly before we leave for the news.
What I am saying to Hanson, whatever you said last night, it is all true. You want to big up your partner. You want to make your partner look good in the public's eye. This is all true and well done. But here's the thing about politics. It is your choice to say how you feel about anything. Has two sides. People of St. Lucia has a consensus. This is the nature of the business. And I have made up my mind. And I said to you all that the Labour Party, and let me tell you, both parties are similar. You'll find good people in Labour and good people in UWP. I believe Philip Chapman is a good man. And you find people who take money for themselves and help the poor. Based on the consensus and the status of St. Lucia, everybody's saying Guy took. But what everybody is saying as well, Guy helped Bexon. I saw it myself. I don't know if Guy stole, but I saw what he did. He did a lot for the people of Bexon. Whenever there was a funeral, he sent jeeps. Whenever was that, he was there. He was always there. So he built that kind of reputation. So when they all come and tell me, oh, I run this out, it's my choice. Richard Frederick was UWP. When he was UWP, when he lost the election, he come on a stage And he said that SLP went and do voodoo. They mate a van 9/11/52 minus 18 minus 6 equals 666. He was the same guy like me giving labor that labor he's in right now. He was giving them power that they were. So this is politics. Stop making this personal. And if any one of you said that you all were my friends, and because of a little politics, because I disagree with you, WP, you want to give me power. You were never my friend. So you can kiss my ass. You were a friend because I was supporting your party. You were never my friend. I come and had these out many Dismas, Girard, Bertrand, and Lukusha, and Lynn Cadet. The world works in a particular way. I may not see Richard Frederick bribe anybody. You anti meeting you too. Anti meeting you, I just can't do even go Chasney. Boss. There will always be a boss. And if labor smart, they will help the people, put the people on top, and the people will proceed. Everybody. Why do you think this must tell you? First of all, I was not in politics. I'm a comedian, like not a real comedian, a Diamond Powell comedian. Lincoln will bring me into this thing with Shasney and them. That he has his own agenda too. Lincoln was close to Shasney, probably get something. Then he tell me, oh, go on. Then this must be the Magason. This must be so close to Prosper. All of them. He may get something. Everybody's looking for their agenda. I say, let me lose my mind. Let me speak the truth. Let me make my money my own way. The same stick that stopped the white dog will stop the black dog. Bomater moi Stanis class as one show. Stanis class fait mon appel ni ka hele tet ni gosse ça. Because Stanis class fait cut the shime say no. Stanis Sufra is impressive when I went there. The same time of the election. The same people that come there enjoying Saint Lucia and Stanis class. Leo Fini, yo veti Stanis class. Same thing for Guy. So don't let those people fool you about the politician. Hanson Cavini, oh, Richard Frederick. I'm gonna my character, my ass. You have not gone to St. Lucia for 12 years. Go to St. Lucia and see for yourself before you come. Let me tell you something. You may support your party and you have to support your party. I respect you on that agenda. I respect you. But reality is, when Shasney was in power, money was flowing in St. Lucia. You don't shy that, but it didn't flow. It was flowing. People were having money. Right now, tout munga hele. The creature like I travel about plane. Oh, I'm in America. This is how it's going to work. You respect your party, support your party, but you cannot dispute what I said last night. You cannot dispute any word I say coming out of my mouth. The universe works in a particular way. What I have done in my life, don't just talking personal, attacking the person I love so much. They have a lot of problems. They must have done a lot of things in the and other support. They never come in. They have big chance than last year. I had to call them and beg them for a ticket. I give them, oh, one little ticket you have in regular people. And I get them, you're not just ridiculous. Sounds not fair, sounds not carry way. You all need to start bathing the country. Unless side pop fair, jazz, entertainment. Entertainment.
The content on this platform may not align with the views of a certain party or organization.
Jesus Christ. You all have to stop it. And no matter what Hudson and his little group says, no matter what strategy, they have to fix it. Let me send some words for Annette Dubois. Hanson politics. Hanson mentioned by Richard Frederick, Richard Gant. And I don't know what you say about, oh, he's a minister, he's traveling. So he's going to win his seat. Because the next year, give Stanislas back his position. I don't know the rest of the areas much. But for sure, he's going to win his seat. Because it's a waste of time. Just a waste. Is a waste of time. I don't know. Something's really went wrong with that election because the people who won those seats it doesn't add up. It just doesn't add up. Kokorok, no matter what, you leave on the bomb. If it's Kokorok, you didn't 12-inch Kokorok. But the guy was working for the people. I see the guy travel. The guy is articulate. He speaks well. Why you all just take him out? Why? You all bring win one back up. It is just ridiculous. You're just moving people. But I have to say something. Moi, j'ai campagne pour you, modèle tech influence. So, I apologize. So, I dis autres, you all made a mistake. You all made a mistake. You all need to bring all that party back. Bring that party back. And I'm telling you, Richard can lose Central. He's strong with the people he helped. But when I look, it's a matter of numbers. The people did not vote. The people did not vote. No. Go back and look at the voters. What happened is Central has more people registered and they did not come out. So you all can fix this up. Now, anybody wants to attack me on a personal level, we can go back and do Roro. But when I made these points, that is what I want you all to come back and talk about, the points I made. That is what all your problems are. And you all do not know how to deal with your problems. You all try to put Richard Frederick fear in me. Why? Whatever I'm looking for, thank you. You are. He does not body his mouth in his spirit, sleep and body.
Okay, Reverend. So we that is it. I just wanted to share with you that news that KKRR is officially giving up his labor badge. I heard he's going to change his chair. I hope he get a stronger chair because chair sa is a less chair sa Tobe often. But as he get back to his senses and everything, he's not going to fall down anymore. Everything is okay now. KKRR, he's not going to fall on his chair anymore. KKRR, he stopped swinging. He swing for the last time. And he said to St. Lucian, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. I saw the works in Soufriere. And Guy Joseph did a lot of work. And he begged St. Lucians to bring back the United Workers' Party. All fall dog, we wise me. Monsieur, KKRR can you pay moi toute la saga because il est foutu avec Powell, Thelma, Powell, mama, moi and Powell, Thelma, moi do it. He come back to his senses and you hear the same story all over St. Lucia right now. All the advocates, they're complaining, they're speaking up. And I am telling you, hey, United PAC, thank you so much. I am telling you that there's a problem. And that's why I said to the United Workers' Party, you are the official government in waiting. Very soon, I am sure you will have your shadow ministers. Very soon, I am sure that, and I know that you guys are working hard behind the scenes. I know that you guys love the people of St. Lucia. I know that you guys have the best interests of St. Lucia at heart. I know that you guys are ready. You are ready to take leadership and to start working on day one because there's a lot of damage to repair. There's a lot of problems in the country that needs urgent attention. And what I would discourage the United Workers' Party in doing is going into government and start giving mépris to Philip J. and mépris to the opposition and stuff like that. No, just focus on working. Allow your work to speak. Work like you have never worked before. Start from community to community. It is time for us to have food pantries in all these communities. It is time for you to start establishing support for these community, the citizens in the community. We should do our best to eradicate as much as we can hunger and food insecurity in these communities in St. Lucia. No child should go to bed in St. Lucia without a proper meal. No citizen of St. Lucia should go to bed not knowing what they're going to eat in the morning. That type of uncertainty should not be. And I'm standing with the United Workers' Party. And I'll tell you the truth and I'll confess tonight. I am speaking loud on behalf of the United Workers' Party. I am proud to stand with the United Workers' Party because I know that when they get in power, by the grace of God, I will be around. And I am going to push with every fiber in my body to ensure that we have facilities in these communities, in every district, to work on the eradication of poverty in the country. We have borrowed billions of dollars, and people are still hungry. People are still not working. Things are still broken. Our hospitals is still a mess. I am supporting the United Workers' Party tonight because I want to see our poor families go to bed with food on the stomach. I want our children to go to school with a meal. And yes, the meals at the schools are okay, but I want them to have good home cooked meal from their homes. We got to ensure, we got to put systems in place. And the sad thing is that there is no World Bank or any bank out there who is loaning St. Lucia money that will sit to them. Why don't you guys build something for the children? Build something so that we can have food for the poor families. You don't hear that from the World Bank, but they would sit to you, put more taxes on your people, put more weight on them, put more restrictions on your people, take away their homes, take away their freedom to travel. And that's why if St. Lucians don't look out for St. Lucians, no World Bank, no IMF, no bank out there who loans us money they don't care about us. We got to care about us. And you need a government that will care about you. I am asking St. Lucians to give the United Workers' Party a chance to work. The United Workers' Party is known as the United Workers' Party. Workers united with the poor and the little man, building the country up from the bottom up, lifting our poor families out of poverty, providing wholesome jobs for them. And I am going to work. I'm going to retire. I'm not too old, but my commitment is that I will retire if I have to early to work with the new St. Lucia government under the leadership of Alan Chasney to ensure that we put a dent in poverty in the country, to ensure that we put a dent in food insecurity for our poor families. I will work every breath that I have to ensure with the United Workers' Party that our families can eat at the end of the day, whether they're unemployed or whatever it is, they should be able to get food. And that's my commitment. And some people ask, what's in it for you? That's what's in it for me, brethren. I confess. That's what is in it for me. That's why I'm speaking here. I don't want nothing. But according to KKR, if you give me, I'll take it. But the reality, the truth is, that's why I'm here. A lot of you have been asking, UWP, SLP, why is he here? He's in for something. Yes, I'm in for something. And that is to help stamp out food insecurity among our poor families. The rich don't understand that. That's why I'm in it. And now you know. I'm asking you to unite. Stop cursing out the Labour Party people. They are voters that we need. Don't cuss them out. Don't cuss out KKRR. Don't cuss out all the others. And I like United Party. They say all they want is good governance. And once you have good governance, everything falls into place. I'm proud to be on the right team. I'm proud. And when I do not agree with policies of the United Workers' Party or actions of the United Workers' Party, I am proud to stand with them so that we can get our families back to work and we can get food on the tables of our poor families in the country. And that's what I leave with you, friends. That's why I'm here. Now you know. Now you know. So I'm going to be a food ambassador for the poor. Self-appointed. If you all want to give me gas, fine. Self-appointed to cater, to establish soup kitchens around St. Lucia for our poor families. And that we will do. So I ask KKRR and all the others who put St. Lucia in a mess, went down and placed St. Lucia in a mess. KKRR, you did. And I thank God that you came to your senses and you say, look, I made that mistake. And I'm willing to fix it. I stand with you as we fix it together. And I stand with anyone else who want to come back and help us. I ain't here to trust nobody. This is not about trust. This is not about who like and who don't like. Because half of you can eat. But there are poor families who cannot eat. And they don't have time to hate and to don't hate. But we got to stand together. And we got to fight this clueless and lazy government. Folks, I love you all. Let me read some of your comments before I go. Marvin is coming on tonight. I got to give him away. We got to give him away, all right? Let's just read some of the comments here. Josie, yes, Brother Garfield, when that happened, I will go home to help in the soup kitchen. Count on me. Yes, we have a lot of people who are willing to do it. Hillary, preach it. Oliver, yes. Jennifer, bring back Shaz. United Fact, we want nothing but good governance. Yes. Yes. And Lydia Francis, my do the best says, just so Ian, give us a break. I don't know that. Randy says, Alan Chastney is a very strong leader. St. Lucia missed out because, yes, that's right, poor decisions. Bibiana, I am with you, Pastor Garfield. Thank you so much. Ian, I want to hear in KKR voice when you had new name, win one. KKR, remember, because I said not to win wonder. Don't curse them, Mary, don't curse them, but keep your eyes wide open. They have to earn our trust. Listen to me. Politics is not about anybody earning, in this case, anybody coming back to the party. It's not, sometimes we believe that people, this trust thing, I think it's overrated sometimes, you know. People make mistakes, right? People err. And people need opportunities to come back. And we had Marvin and all those people who you see Marvin puts out 100% of his energy in undoing what he claimed that he did. You have Klikiara saying the very same thing. So trust, I would say, the United Works Party is an open party. It's not a social, what I would say is not a elite club. You know, it has always been open to those who want to come in. And so I would say let's not throw things in people's face and all those things. Let us just work together. And remember, the goal is to win. And to win, you must add, not take away. And I'm going to ask United Workers' Party supporters, you must unite and stay united. You must, this is very crucial, very important, unite and stay united. And please do not wash your dirty linens in public. Let's be more professional. Let us be more professional. I'm seeing the professionalism. I am seeing the improvement in our supporters. I am seeing where we have come from by the grace of God. Keep on that path and you'll be okay. All right? So don't go curse out anybody. When people cuss you off, just leave it alone. Yeah, they're not important right now in this matter. All right? So love you all. See you all later on. Okay? Bye-bye.